welcome to the best live signing that you've ever experienced with the one and only Christina Perri. You have loved her since 2010. Of course, everyone knows Jar of Hearts. Everyone knows 1,000 Years. And there's so much to talk about. I'm Kelty Knight, host of E! News, and I'm so excited to host this because what people, I think, know but might not know.
Yeah, I love professional Kelty. Sorry, can you also introduce yourself as Kelty Knight, Christina Perri's best friend?
Yes, I'm also Christina's best friend. And so she, this book's coming out and she was like, oh, I'm going to do this live signing. I was like, well, I'm going to be there. So we're so excited to be with you today.
Out with us.
It's basically just like a best friends chat.
It is. Oh, I'm supposed to sign. I have a job to do.
First, I need to introduce you. Okay. Christina is a multi-platinum singer-songwriter who earned critical acclaim and a huge fan base. Of course, when she broke out in 2010, she has released 4 lullaby albums with more on the way. And we have a brand new book, which is the most gorgeous children's book I've ever seen in my life, 1,000 Years. It is so beautiful. So at what point in your lullaby journey and being a mother did you realize, okay, children's book is on the list?
Okay, so it's actually crazy and funny and fateful and amazing. This is maybe one of my favorite stories. Oh gosh, I have to talk. So let me tell this first. So because everyone in 2011 was introduced to 1,000 Years as the wedding song for Twilight, which it wasn't. It was actually in the credits, but everyone remembers it as the wedding song, which is fine with me. Both memories are cool. I love both narratives, but it was just the second credit song. And the fans became obsessed with it because they were like, oh, this is our people. This girl is actually Twihard. Like, they were like, Bruno Mars' song is cool, but Christina Perri's our people. So they chose my song as like the second single for the film. And then it blew up as like the song for all the fans, like the swan song of the whole franchise. It was like the most amazing thing.
It is Twilight.
It was unbelievable. And it was like the best case scenario. And then they did Breaking Dawn Part 2, which was the 5th movie. And they were like, hey, we want to surprise the fans and do a 7-minute curtain call at the end of this movie. And we want 1,000 Years to be the song, but you need to make it like, longer and orchestral. And I was like, great. So then I did 1,000 Years Part 2. So this song started as just a little baby song. And then it's had so many different lives because it was first 1,000 Years, then 1,000 Years Part 2. Then after the Twilight stuff sort of settled down, everyone decided it was their wedding song for humans. So then everyone from 2012 to today has been getting married to it, walked down the aisle to it, first dance to it. I'm sure anyone watching has been to a wedding where it's there.
Christina sang it, me down the aisle at my wedding.
Yes,
and her voice cracked. It was so cute because she was like having a little cry.
Why did I not think that I wasn't going to cry my eyes out at my best friend's wedding? Like, why did I think I was just going to be cool singing you down the aisle and like hold it together and be able to sing? I don't know.
Sometimes when I see on TikTok, like everyone getting married to it, I was like, but did you have the real Christina Perri sing you down the aisle?
Honestly, no, most people did not. But I do feel like a sense of like unbelievable gratitude to be a part of most people's like most special day, right? Like I remember you being obsessed with your wedding and like that being a huge moment for you. So that was sort of my like, oh wow, I'm included in everybody's favorite moment of their favorite day.
Yeah.
So then I thought that was it. I thought like that was the end of the life of this, beautiful gift for me. And then that is not the end of it because I became a mom in 2018 and I decided to put out an album of lullabies that I was singing to my daughter Carmela because I had become a mom and I didn't want to pretend I didn't just become a mom and I didn't know how to do both things, like being an artist and being a mom. And I was like, how do I do this? So I'm going to marry the two and I'm going to sing lullabies. And my record label was like, okay.
They're like, but you're the heartbreak girl.
Yeah, they're like, wait, you're singing music for children? Okay. And so it was a bit of a pivot, but it was I didn't realize, but everyone who got married 2,000 years was then having babies the same year that I did. So all of a sudden I'm having the same experience as the fans of this song in real time. And so I make a lullaby version of 1,000 Years for the lullaby record. And all the moms that got married to it or people who got married to it were like, oh my God, now this is my wedding song. I'm going to sing it to my baby. So then it became the baby song and the biggest song on TikTok because of the baby videos and the puppy videos and the kitten videos and all this. So it has this another life. And then, honestly, the most obvious next step was a children's book, because I all of a sudden have been like immersed into this children's world. So I did 4 lullaby records. I have one for all my daughters. I have one for Christmas. And then it was like, of course, I want to keep this going. So I want to go and like sit and like read to children. Like, this is so special to me because it's what I do to my kids.
Yeah.
And so Penguin Books came, reached out to me, and I was like, absolutely. So we actually worked on this for like 4 years. So
okay, we're going to get into that. You keep signing. I want to welcome everyone, all the newbies.
Stories.
No, we love it. And I want you to know why we're here. You can go to signed1000years.com. And you're going to get 15% off autographed editions today with the code years15. And what is so beautiful about this, signed1000years.com, the code is years15. You get 15% off. If you know anyone, if you're going to a baby shower, if there's a birthday, if there's a Christmas, if there's Mother's Day, something coming out, this is a beautiful book. And this is one of those things that you'll keep your whole life, that goes in the hope chest, that is that piece of remembrance. It's like, it's just a very special book.
It's like saving your bouquet. You have your bouquet,
you know what I mean?
Framed in your
house.
And
And this is just, it's so sweet. And I think, like you were saying, like, you've been such a big part of so many people's lives. So to have this book and be able to read it to your kids or just have it on the bookshelf, it's like, it's so beautiful. So sign1000years.com, 15% off with code years15. Okay. So continuing on. Then Penguin came and they said, let's make a book. And you've been working on this forever.
Yes. So much so that this version of this little baby here is what Carmela looked like when we started. So Joy, who is our amazing illustrator, she actually followed me on Instagram before she illustrated this book. So she knew me as a mom, which I absolutely love because that's my favorite version of me. But she already knew that I was, my vibe, and she knew Carmela, and she knew Carmela had a little bunny that I was always posting. So in the book, you can find the little bunny, which is my actual daughter's bunny, Banan, throughout the whole book. And she knew this stuff. So when she submitted to be the illustrator, she was drawing basically me and Carmela. And I was like, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. So I loved her immediately. And she just did such a good job. I can't even handle it.
Well, it's crazy because right now, like, this was based on Carmela.
Yeah.
And Carmela
looks exactly
is
like Pixie. Carmela's 7.
Oh my God, I was going to say 6.
I know. She's
crazy.
So mad. You can't say
she's 6 going on 14.
Yeah.
But your baby, Pixie,
looks just like this.
Just looks like this.
And she thinks it's her. So she goes, it's Pixie Rose, it's Pixie Rose. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, cute. But I mean, it's Carmela, but also, sure, both of them. But they're also copy paste. They look so much alike.
And there's something really beautiful. I just want to show everyone. Hello, new viewers. If you're just tuning in right now, I love this. And you dedicated the book for Carmela, Rosie, Pixie, I love you for 1,000 more, and then to mamas and babies everywhere.
Yeah,
I love this. Now, what's so cool about this is I don't think there's any other children's books that have a mom that's got a sleeve of tattoos. That's the Christina Perri way right there.
That's
which
right.
I love. And it just makes it so unique, and it's just showing off like you. And
well, here's the thing. I was very specific with Joy because I wanted 2 things. One is I wanted the mom to look like an elder millennial like me, because this is like, we are the people who, are getting married to this song or whatever, reading it. So I wanted her to look modern and also not super skinny, because I was like, hey, when I had a baby, I was not skinny for a while, and I was doing yoga and looking just like that. So I wanted realistic vibes, and I wanted cool mom, millennial cool mom vibes. So if you can relate, I was trying to imagine me as a tiny cartoon.
What do you look at how cute that is? What do you want parents reading this to take away, and what do you hope that the kids take away from having this story in their lives?
Well, I do think that a lot of people have said to me that once 1,000 Years became their wedding song or their song to their partner or their song to their kid, it becomes this like universal love song. And it's truthfully, the only meaning of it is forever love. So it's like, whether it's between vampires or kids or couples, it's about loving someone forever. So I feel like it's a love letter from the mom or the dad to the child. And the child hopefully likes the colors, the drawings, the bunny. It's very cute that little kids can see themselves like, in the sweetest moments with their parents. So that's what basically all these beautiful drawings are. So yeah, I think kids will really like how bright it is. I think it's like the colors are my favorite.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
And then I think parents will like that it's the lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
And I will say it's most of the lyrics, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Because I did change I have died every day waiting for you, which is very emo and dramatic, to I have spent every day waiting for you, which is a little bit more kid friendly. So
I love this. See, like a true mother.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. If you're new here, this is Christina Perri,
Hello.
multi-platinum singer, songwriter, star, writer of your favorite songs. We are talking about 1,000 Years, her new children's book, and how you can get it signed. You go to signed1000years.com to get 15% off your signed.
Woohoo.
You get use code years15, which is so fabulous. And this, like I said, this is such a great gift. Mother's Day is coming up. This is a beautiful gift to give. And you could even like get it and then have your kids like draw on the front page, or like, you know how sometimes like your kids write like, to mom, I love you. Like how cute is that? Okay.
Well, no, look how cute it is in that page too. I have two favorite pages. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
So this is actually just the front. So I don't know what you call this, a cover page? No, I don't know.
Sure.
So that one is one of my favorite pages. And then I kind of love them all, but wait, this is my all-time favorite page. Look how pretty that is. I kind of want to get it printed and hang it in my house.
Oh.
It says, I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And then here's mom and babe here. But like, look at this. Like, this is what I imagine, like what my soul looks like inside.
Oh my God. No, you are like so magical. You're like you love the Disney, you love the magical, you love
like the inside
pretend.
of the Peter Pan ride. It makes me very happy. That page makes me the happiest.
I know that motherhood is not always easy.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say has been your biggest struggle being a mom of two, working, trying to do career, and trying to be like a good present mom?
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say that it's equally as wonderful as it is challenging. I feel like all moms can agree to that. It's like the best season of my whole life and the hardest season of my whole life. But the reward and like the being a mom and like how big your heart grows and all that stuff weighs out so much of the hard stuff. Like truthfully, that's not just like fluff, but a lot of it is hard. I feel like one of the biggest things is like how often I'm asked, how do you balance it all? And what's funny is like, I don't know. I'm trying. Like I have help. I'm not going to lie. My husband works, I work. So we have babysitters that come in and out. We have nannies that come in and out and help us. And I feel very fortunate to do that. I wouldn't be able to do anything without it.
Yeah.
We also, are learning as we go. So there's moments where we're like, wow, her behavior is showing signs of like really needing some one-on-one time. So like, we're not perfect at it, but what's awesome is like, changing the conversation to like, this is how I'm doing it. Like, I'm just doing it. So it's like, now we've asked the question so many times, how do you do it? Like, it's so nice to see moms just doing it. So like, I'm not the only one. There's so many more moms now because we're figuring out a way to do it that like, it's possible. It's not perfect. And like the other day, my daughter was sick and I had to cancel my whole day. Like I had to cancel all my press for the whole day because my daughter was sick, and my husband didn't have to cancel his day and he went to work. I mean, that's just the truth. So, it is it's a lot, but it's like, I wouldn't change it for the world. The girls are my absolute world. And I, am learning as gracefully and ungracefully as I'm doing it. I'm learning as I go.
You're doing a great job.
You get to see me in real life do it too. It's not perfect, but it's really cute.
Well, it's hard. And I will say this, like you have a wonderful husband and lots of people have great partners, but like there's only one mom. Yeah. You can have as much help as you want. I've witnessed it myself firsthand with Christina, like when she's in the room, and I think a lot of moms can agree, like the kids want mom. They don't want Auntie Kelty.
Yeah.
They
love Auntie Kelty.
Of course they do. She's amazing. Yeah. but like they want mom. And so it's very challenging. I want to go back to the creative process of putting the book together. Because I'm really interested in how this comes to be. Like, what's going to be on each page, and then they illustrate, and then you give notes, and like how does that go?
It was so long. I feel like, I guess making an album is long too, because there's so many, different processes that have to all come together. And so what I do love is that they cared so much about the story first, like the copy of the book. So they said like, okay, we want to make a book. Before they illustrated anything, I wrote out what, it was going to say. I wrote the story. I was like, this has to make sense, as a children's book. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just the lyrics.
Right.
I wanted it to read like a story. And so, so I feel like that went back and forth for a while. Like this, works, this doesn't work. Like I cared about the not the tempo, but like the way I read as a musician, I cared about the rhythm of the book and what was on what page. So like, yeah, it was a process. We did that for a while. And then I feel like Joy started to illustrate. And what's interesting is like, I had no notes every time. I was like, perfect, love it, perfect, amazing. Like, I can't wait, to meet her in real life. We haven't met in real life. We're going to give a big hug, but because she crushed it. She literally was like exactly the vision that I had for like the magical, fantastical version of this book. But yeah, it took a while. It really took a while to make it just right. And we had everybody on the team. Everyone has to approve everything. And so, but it was great. I had a wonderful time making it, and I'm like thrilled it's finally coming out because I've known about it for so long.
Right. I know. It's like it's like another birth.
Yeah.
The gestation period was much longer.
Yeah. And I do think it's one of hopefully many. I think this is the beginning. Ooh. I have some more ideas, and I have some more hopefully treats up my sleeve.
Does it ever just blow your mind that you like came onto the scene as the girl that like everyone was like yelling, screaming in their car about their bad ex-boyfriend and like their heartbreak being like, ah! And now like people are like, I'm listening to your voice. Like,
dude, I think about it all the time. I think about how I was like angsty, crappy boyfriends. Like,
I could not get this girl to wear a heel. She would be invited to parties. She's like, I'll be wearing a combat boot. And I was like,
I wore those combat boots every single day for a couple years.
I think you wore one heel.
Excuse me. Once I went to the heels,
then you slayed it.
Then I went straight Christian Louboutin for like 2 years, and you liked everything I wore. And then I went back to
now you're
sneakers.
a mom, so she's like, I'm gonna be wearing a sneaker in this. I was
excited
literally when
just
I saw you in a real outfit
I
tonight.
know. I did it.
She's out of the leggings, ladies.
I know. Thank you very much.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to signed1000years.com. Use code years15. You're going to get 15% off your signed copy. Christina is signing these right now. What a beautiful gift. What a beautiful thing to have in your son or daughter's collection. And this is just fabulous. It really is. It is so beautiful. All right. I want to go back to some Twilight lore because I know sometimes when you come on one of these, this is what the people want.
Yeah.
Take me back to the process of writing the song for the movie. Like, I don't remember, did they show you the movie and then you had to write to it? Did you read the script, or they told you like what was that?
Okay. So it was the spring of 2011, and I got called in to write a song for the wedding scene for Breaking Dawn Part 1, which looked like they had me come. I remember I was in crutches because I just had ankle surgery.
Oh, wow.
So I was in crutches, and I made David Hodges come with me, and he was like, I really don't want to go. And I was like, you're coming. And so we went to the screening. It was at wherever they had it. I don't even remember, wherever Summit was. It was like a theater, and we went, and there were all these people who were very composed and cool, like very like on there, like taking notes and like watching the film. And then I was legit in the front row, crying
because you were already a Twilight fan and other movies had come out, right?
Yes. So all the movies had come out, and I had waited in line like a normal human being for all of them. I literally waited in line for like 13 hours to see New Moon and Eclipse. Twilight, the first one, I think I saw later. I was like, I came a little late to the party, and then I was obsessed. And so, yeah, I was a real life fan. And so when they asked me to do this, I was like, this is the greatest day of my life. I was not cool. There was absolutely nothing cool about my vibe. So much so that I think they were like, who invited this person? Like, is she even a professional?
Legit.
Yeah.
Right.
Why is this girl crying? And they had they were holding, the movie was so not done yet. They were holding masks with green screens behind them and holding
like Jacob was like in the thing.
Yes, wearing like the gray outfit, and they were holding masks as wolves. And I was still crying because I was like, this is the best day of my whole life. And so I was knew the story. Like no one had to tell me what it was about. I knew exactly what the book was. I had read them all. So what happened was the second I saw the film with David, we went straight back to his house and we wrote the song. So
and it came right away?
Well, it was a 2-day thing. We have the whole thing recorded, which is really funny.
Whoa.
One day, maybe I'll put out the audio of us writing it.
That's
because
cool.
There's a moment where David goes, he and I, you hear us and we're writing, and I'm like, one step closer. And then I'm like, no, that's not very good. And then we change it. And then like later on we come back. And then there's a part where David's like, you know, a million years, 100 years. And I'm like, no, 1,000. And then like we sing, like you hear us writing it in real time. So
that's actually really cool.
Also what I love is like David was saying all these things like, oh, you know, what if it's this? And I was like, no. I was like, Bella would not say that. And he was like, oh, what? And I was like, I know what Bella and I know what Edward would say. Okay. So I was like fact checker. Like I keep referring to the book. Like in the audio of us writing it, I'm like reading quotes. So I genuinely wrote that song with David so specifically for this scene that she's walking down the aisle. So it's so cool that it was chosen still for the film, but it's so cool that it wasn't in the wedding. But my intention as a songwriter was for it to be a wedding. And then I love that the world was like, oh, this is a wedding song.
Yes.
Like intuitively they knew.
Yes.
And then it got to be a wedding song. And then the like, you know, the singing to the baby is like, I could never have dreamed that up in 2011. You and I at the premiere, literally like, we're like,
babies, what are those?
yeah, I was like 23. Yeah. And now it's like, I'm singing in my child, like what? But it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And like, I so didn't plan it. Like, it's just so organically happening, like in real time with like my actual real life story. And I'd be doing this regardless. If no one was listening or a part of it, I would still be doing this. And it just feels so good to just get to be authentically me in real life, in real time, and be putting out things that like make sense with like who I am.
That's what people love about you though. You've always been that way.
Thank you.
Okay. If you're watching, we're here with Christina Perri. She is signing copies of this gorgeous book, 1,000 Years. It is her new children's book. You can go to sign1000years.com. And if you want 15% off, we'd love a code. You can go to years or use code years15. So sign1000years.com and use the code years15 for 15% off. Okay. I want to get into a little bit more lore about this. Okay. I think one of the things that is so beautiful about you as a human, now an author, a songwriter, a mom, person, friend, is your resilience. Okay. And I think a lot of people know about your resilience. I want to tell the story of at the premiere when 1,000 Years premiered, and how that all went down, because it's a great story of like it not going the way we thought it was going to go. Then the world sort of took it anyway. So you kind of mentioned before that this was not the wedding song, but it was in the credits. But it was the second song in the credits. So Christina had taken me as her date to the premiere. We got all dressed up. It was really fabulous. And we watched the whole movie together. We did. And then at the end of the movie, everyone starts leaving and the credits start rolling. And I don't remember, was the Bruno Mars song played again?
It was the Bruno Mars song that played.
Again.
No. Just that he was the first credit song.
Right.
Because the second the movie ended,
the Bruno Mars
rain.
And we're like excited because we're like, oh, Christina's the credit song. I don't know if we knew that it was the second credit song, or we knew, but we didn't realize what that would feel like in the audience.
We had no idea that no one would stay.
Yeah.
Literally no one stayed.
By the time we're at the premiere, by the time we got through 4 minutes of Bruno Mars singing, it was like me, you, Hodges, like a couple people, maybe a few people that were still staying.
Lingering, having conversations.
Very small amount. It was a huge movie theater. And it was a very small amount of people. And we were like sitting there and we're sitting there and like Christina's so excited, but you can tell like it's a little hard on her because you're like, this is our big moment and you care so much about this song. You love this song and you know how special it is. And like everyone's leaving, everyone's talking over. And we sat there and we just watched those credits roll. We were at like,
you took a picture of me. I'm like this from behind. You can see me.
Yeah, and it's like we're at the part of the credits where it's like storyboard director, like craft services, like the stars are gone. We are so far in the credits. We are like lady who gave us pencils. Like we are not in the part of the credits that you care about at all. And it was hard. And we walked out and you're like, okay, well, whatever. But you like.
Well, here's what I say. No. What I like to say about this, because I do tell a version of this story often. The truth is, when I dreamt up this dream, which I literally wrote a letter to the universe and wrote, be on the Breaking Dawn soundtrack. I did not specify in the scene or where in the movie. I wrote B on the Breaking Dawn soundtrack. And so when my manager or my best friend was like, oh, this is a bit of a bummer, but also cool, but also a bummer, I was like, you know what? The way I wanted to like put it out there was, no, this is exactly what I asked for. This was my biggest dream. This was my goal. Like, this was my North Star.
Yep.
I wanted to be a part of this franchise and I wanted to be part of it. And I was like truthfully grateful for just that. Like, I did not want to give any like greedy energy or like disappointed energy, because it was still the coolest moment of my career, even if it was no one else's coolest moment of their career. It was the coolest moment of mine.
Yeah.
And I was like, here we are. We're actually at the premiere. I'm in the movie. I'm on the soundtrack. Like, this is what I wanted. And so I really did have this genuine appreciation that was not like slightly bummed. Like, I was like, no, this is great. And it's all gonna, you know, it's perfect what it was and what it is. And what's so fascinating is that it then came around later and they were like, oh, wait, we want to put it on the radio. Oh, wait, we're going to put it out as a single. Oh, wait, we're going to put it in the movie again. Oh, wait. And like all the gifts that kept coming, like, was not planned at all.
We couldn't have dreamed this.
No. So
us sitting in the theater.
Better than what we thought.
I know. Us sitting in the theater, second credit song with 5 people in the theater left over.
Mm-hmm.
We could not have dreamed up that all these years later, you would have this. Yeah. But based on the multi-platinum hit song, 1,000 Years, this book.
No, I could have never dreamed this. But the point is, I think you have to be grateful for where you are, where you're at. And, you know, a lot of times we're not appreciating where we're at because we just want more. We want the next thing. And like, you know, they always say like, you're your favorite version of yourself. Like, looking back, this is your favorite time of your life, but you're not noticing. So it's like, no, I really had that perspective. I was like, this is exactly what I dreamed of, and I'm going to enjoy it and celebrate it for just what it is. And then it was like the gifts kept coming, you know?
Well, not to segue like a professional, but the gifts keep coming to you as well, because we have a gift for you. Sign 1000years.com. How smooth was that? 15% off autographed editions today only. This code will not work tomorrow. Today only. Use the code years15 to get yours. It is so beautiful. It is like just, and you're also, it's like a collector's item. I feel like it's one of those pieces that you'll just have. You know, sometimes there's like books that you get as hand-me-downs or whatever, and you can't keep every book.
Sure.
But like, these are the books I used to read as a kid. Like, it's just one of those real special ones.
Thank you.
I want to go back to motherhood for a second. Okay. What is your highs and lows? What is your absolutely favorite part of motherhood? Like, what's the moment where you're like, for me as an auntie with your kids, my favorite part of auntie your children is when Carmela will turn to me and she'll say something so smart. And I'm like, hold the phone.
Like the musical you guys are working on?
Yeah. She like wrote me a note the other day, and Christina had to send, and she wrote it on paper asking me to come over and help her with her dance, choreograph her kind of big show.
Kind of big show.
And I wrote her back, and we worked on it last weekend, and I came over, and then she came to me and she was like, okay, so I have this idea. It's about Gru, and I want to have a scarf, and like, but just the way she talks sometimes, like she's like a little adult, and I'm like,
she said she wanted Michael Jackson's lighting guy.
And I was like, okay, she goes, I go, well, what do you, and she's like, for the lighting, I'm thinking we'll ask Michael Jackson's lighting guy. And I was like, well, what about your mom's lighting guy? And she was like, yeah, they're fine too.
It's like Benson Boone, maybe.
Yeah, Benson Boone. She was like, I want Michael Jackson or Benson Boone. And I was like, who are you? Like, you're so crazy.
She's
to
a
me.
Magical creature.
But it's wild to me because when you first had her, you were living in New York. And I remember you were first time mom. You were not on this planet.
No. So
you were so traumatized from the birth.
Yeah.
And I remember coming to your house and I just held Carmela in one hand. Like she was this small. Yeah. And you went and showered for 4 minutes. Yeah. And you were scared to leave the room for 4 minutes. And I think that's such a relatable story for so many moms where you're just like, first time mom, can't even like take the time to shower.
Sure.
And it's so crazy to like think of like this little baby thing that you're holding is then the sassy girl that's like, I'm going to have Michael Jackson's lighting director. Like, does it blow your mind?
Yes. So, okay. My highs and lows right now, cause it's so funny. Motherhood changes so much and so fast. So there's that version of me that was like really hard. And I'm so proud of myself for getting through it. Like I think back to when Carmela was first born or when Pixie was first born, and getting through that first year is such an accomplishment for all moms everywhere. But my highs right now are like this small moments that we have. So like last night, Carmela was reading me, Judy Moody. She's reading a chapter book. Okay. My child is old enough to read a chapter book. And she's like, stops every couple words and asks for help, or is slow, or like sounds it out or whatever. And so she's reading me Judy Moody, and we're sitting in bed together with like, she's got a flashlight, and she's just like reading me the story. And like, when I tell you, like, I can't explain the joy and the warmth that like fills my whole body with. So that's my like high of Carmela. And then my high of Pixie right now is how funny she is. Like she repeats every single thing we say. And so like just yesterday she goes, hold on 1 second. And like, she'll just say funny. And I'm like, where did she learn? Hold on 1 second. Like she's like saying phrases.
Yeah.
And so she's at the age, she's almost 2.5. So she is the age where everything she does is so cute, it actually hurts. Like it hurts in my body in places, like when she's so cute and she'll look at me. And she was so sick this past week. Yeah. And she just was like she had to literally get an IV to get fluids in the hospital. And she just looked at me and she was like, ouch, mommy, ouch. And it like literally broke my heart. I almost passed out. So everything about Pixie is so cute that it hurts. And everything about Carmela is like, she's just becoming this tiny little girl. Like she's actually like a young girl or young, child. I don't even know. She's not a baby. She's a kid.
Yeah.
And so like watching her become like my tiny little friend, and like we laugh hysterically about things. Like we'll laugh at something Pixie says and we'll just like laugh together at how cute it was. Like she's like my tiny little best friend. So those are my highs. And then the lows also similarly, Pixie being sick, or, just like the struggle of like watching Carmela become aware of her body. And like all of a sudden she's like, oh, I don't want to wear that. I don't look cool, or I don't like my hair. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, as a mom of daughters. Yeah. It's like, it's a real thing to like, okay, I always have to make sure now that I'm like speaking really highly of myself. And like, I'm trying to change. We're like the cycle breakers, the generation of cycle breakers, especially with daughters. So like it's not necessarily a low. It's just like a new thing for me to like be so hyper aware of like what I can and cannot do for my kids if they're sick or if they're having big feelings, and like trying to learn how to support them and not like mess them up. Yeah. Truthfully, like we're trying not to mess up our kids constantly. And I know I sort of will in some way, but like I'm trying so hard not to. So I feel like that's just like the hardest part right now.
I love you. You're doing great, mommy.
You're doing the best, says Auntie Kelty. They're obsessed with you.
Okay, the book is available 1,000 Years at signed1000years.com. 15% off with code YEARS15. Not to get heavy, but I think a lot of people have found themselves in you with your fertility struggles and what you've been through in your life.
Yeah.
At times like this, when something big and wonderful is happening for your family, how do you honor Rosie?
Oh, well, I do mention her in the dedication of the book. So Rosie is my middle daughter who passed away at birth. And so I have Carmela, Rosie, and Pixie. And Rosie's in just my life every day. I mean, honestly, like she's in my breath. She's in so much of my conversation. She's in our family. Carmela tells everyone about her. Carmela has 2 little sisters. Like the narrative, I think honoring her is constantly keeping her included. So I had to include her in the book. And anyone who's lost a child or had any type of infant loss or fertility loss, you can relate to knowing that they're a part of you because they were literally inside of us. So they live in us forever. And with 1,000 Years, I mean, it can be that. Like 1,000 Years is also a song that people play in their videos and in their stories and in their funerals and in their loss. So a lot of people, this is their grief song as much as it is their wedding song. And to me, being someone who's been through so much grief and also been through so much love, like I relate to all of it. I feel like it does work for anybody. And so, I do think of Rosie all the time, especially I think that's maybe why I like this page so much, because this is where I imagine Rosie like living in the spirit world, like above me and my girls. And so she's just always with us.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Okay. And it was amazing at Carmela's birthday this year. We're in the backyard. And nothing has bloomed yet.
Oh yeah. I have a plant. It's actually like I think it's like a tree, but it's only
like a climbing rose or something.
It's the Queen Elizabeth. And I have roses throughout my whole backyard. Sorry, I interrupted you. But all my roses bloom like 80 roses, like so many roses all the time. This plant only makes 1 rose. And there were none. It was not the rose season. I still have none in the backyard. And literally it was Pixie's birthday. And on the day we woke up for her party, 1 rose had bloomed in the backyard. And it was Rosie's tree.
And it was crazy because Christina's running around, Carmel's running around, Pixie's running around. There's
Yeah.
30 kids in the backyard.
Yeah.
And Christina stops and she goes, look at what came. It's Rosie. And then she just continues on her way. Like the way you do life is so beautiful. Okay. We are out of time for this live signing. You have a lot of signing to do, my friend. You're going to have to really hunker down because
you're not going to hang out with me the whole time?
So much chatting. If you want your copy of 1,000 Years by Christina Perri, this beautiful children's book, you can go to sign1000years.com, get 15% off today only using code YEARS15. You are incredible. We love you. I'm so proud of you. I think this is such a beautiful piece of work. And I think it's going to be so crazy when we all come to your concert and we're like, yeah, we hate that guy. And then we're like, oh, we love this book. Like, it's like, you're so multifaceted. You give so many people so much hope. And I'm so proud of you. And congratulations, Christina, on 1,000 years. We love it.
Thank you.